What's going on, guys? I'm Chrissy Whispers. Welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to do a quick video tonight. Forgive the messy hair. I knew I had ordered some cards and I wanted to see if they had come in, and one of the cards did come in. I got the Gengar EX and I ordered 2 of them from TCG Player. I opened it up and I absolutely hated the way that it was packed and shipped. I feel compelled to just do a quick little video on how I ship my cards, and not that it's the only way to ship cards, but it's at least proper. And maybe there's some people out there that could maybe use a video on how to ship their cards properly just for themselves, for their own business. And I want to talk a little bit about postage and the cost of shipping as well. So stick around to the end of the video. We're just going to get right into it. So I ordered the card, and the card had showed up as is in a top loader, not this one, in a top loader with just a piece of tape straight across the top, thrown in the envelope. That was it. No team bag. There was no other protection. It was just a top, and it wasn't a top loader. I won't complain about that. It was top loaded. It was protected to that regard. So it was like this. It's not in, it's just behind it. But the tape straight across really irked the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie. Because if all this card has to do is slide up in that sleeve and get stuck to that glue, and now I get stuck with residue from the tape straight across the top of the card. Didn't happen, so I'm not too mad, but I'm gonna make a video about it. So this is how I ship my cards. I would take exactly said card in a sleeve into a top loader. Now what I do is, when I first started selling, I was watching videos and everybody was always saying, oh, leave a personal letter or handwrite something or this and that. So I took that information with the fact that I absolutely despise the fact that there's tape across the top of the top loader. And what I started doing was I would take strips of paper, I would cut them on my cutter, and I would literally write, "Thanks for shopping with Chrissy Whispers." When I was selling cards with Fat Packs TCG, shout out to Fat Packs TCG, I would write, "Thanks for shopping with Fat Packs TCG." It's just handwritten. Take that. Once the card is in there, what I would do is I would just wrap it, tape it on the back. Here, tape goes there. So now this card is secure in here. Plus, they have to see your little note before they see their card. So you're making sure they see that you hand wrote something to them. You're keeping the card in the top loader without chancing any sort of glue or residue on the card itself. And it's handwritten. It's nice. Now, with this, I would take this and throw it into a team bag, BCW team bag. If you don't have these and you sell cards, do yourself a favor, check out the links in my description. I'm going to have the links for top loaders, the penny sleeves, some bubble mailers, and some envelopes all in the description. If you're looking to start selling, check it out. Don't necessarily use these links that I'm going to be adding for you. Look around, check Amazon, check BCW itself. So that's just a little information. But then once your card is taped up, wrapped up like this, you're going to slide it into your team bag. You're going to close your team bag. Now this is your order, right? It's going to look nicer because it's actually going to be taped and inside of each other, but this is your order. Now what I do is, once this is closed up, I put a little piece of tape here, and when I tuck it in my envelope, you don't have to use this envelope. This is just the envelopes I have near me, near the desk. So I'm using this one as an example. Pro tip, if you don't care about the cost of ink or whatever, you could buy windowless, the windowed envelopes, and you could actually print out the invoice that TCG Player just gives you. And if you tri-fold it like 3 ways, when you we would put this order inside that 3-way folded paper, you tape it in there, and then when you tuck it in your windowed envelope, their address would just be right here. That's the way the paper prints on the invoice. So you could save yourself writing their address if you're into that kind of thing. I don't recommend having to spend money on ink. It's just an unnecessary expense. But if you have the luxury that if you can, you could. Just throwing that out there. You don't have to. You don't even have to have envelopes this big. You could buy smaller envelopes, just big enough to fit a team bag if you really wanted to. So like, this is your envelope, this is your team bag. You don't need really this much space. In fact, in my opinion, the less space, the better, because it's not going to be wiggling around. It won't be doing this and that, whatever. So yeah, back to what I was saying. You're going to want to top load, personal note, team bag, tape, envelope, taped into the envelope. So that little piece of tape that you're going to be putting on your team bag, you're going to stick it inside the envelope so that it can't slide around, okay? Then what I do is I fold it. I would typically put another strip of tape across the back. Once my information's on there, I usually put a little strip of tape across the return address, just in case, you know, whatever happens, at least hopefully the return address will be saved. Maybe it'll at least make its way back to my house. And then just as precaution, I put little strips of tape on the edges. Like I'll take a piece of tape and I'll half cover this edge and I'll just fold it over just to give the edges, the side edges, a little more strength in case it has to go through a sorter. So it would get tape on the sides, and for me, tape on the sides and additional tape across the back. Then you put your stamp, blah, 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 blah. You should know how to write a letter. You should know how to address a letter by now. Point is, this is how you should ship your cards. You should be protecting your cards. Also, if you want a little sweet little touch, you could get something made, a card, something like this. I have on the back, if you like the card you got, I have Instagram, basically share it to Instagram, tag me, whatever, promote yourself a little bit. You are trying to sell cards, something like this could be very cheap if you shop around. My wife got these as a gift. Actually, I think they were probably like the cutest little gift she's ever gotten. Mad personal. This is not necessary. It's a nice touch. It's not necessary. Back to what I was saying about supplies, about prices. Make sure you shop around. I have, before the price of stamps went up, I've found stamps on sale on Walmart for like 33 bucks for a roll of 100. That's only 33 cents. Saving, when stamps were 55 cents, saving 22 cents on one of your shipping costs could be huge. That could become a 22-cent profit on every order you make. And as far as prices go, without shopping around, just pulling up those links that that are going to be in my description, if you price out what it would actually cost you to ship a card, this is what the math would be. I'm going to look over at my screen. I have some numbers here. Penny sleeve is going to cost you like 9 cents. Okay. Team bag is going to cost like 29 cents. This is just right off the website. Top loader is going to cost you about 12.5 cents. Envelope with the window, 5 cents a stamp. All that just to ship that stuff is $1.15. So if you're selling on TCG Player, you're charging $1.22 for shipping. You already have a 7-cent margin just shipping on TCG Player without shopping around for the best prices. You shop around for the best prices. Let me add this information. I'll pull up the image. For example, if you're serious about selling cards, little tip. If you're serious about selling cards, don't buy 200 top loaders, because if you buy 200 top loaders, it's going to cost you 25 bucks, which comes out to 12.5 cents top loader. If you were to buy 10 of them, instead of it being 25 bucks, it's going to be $18.74. So now, just going to pull up my calculator, do some quick math. So now, instead of each, you'd save 3 cents. You would save 3 cents each top loader if you were to buy 2,000 of them instead of just the 200. And if you're serious about selling cards, 2,000 top loaders really isn't that much. It's not that many. If you're seriously buying cards, selling cards, every order you send out should have a top loader. If you don't plan to do 2,000 orders, what are you doing? I advise personally to buy more. The more you buy, the cheaper it is. The 8 cents, 9 cents, whatever it is, for the standard card sleeves, penny sleeves. If you were to buy 100 of them, which is a lot, you could buy 25 of them. That would be like 2,500 sleeves. You'd get them, instead of 89 cents each, you'd get them for 75 cents each. So you're saving another penny there. If you find cheaper stamps, you save a couple cents there. So now that 7-cent buffer that you have already built into your shipping cost from TCG Player, you could turn that 7 cents into 15 cents, 20 cents. Might not sound that big, but now if you're competitively pricing your cards on TCG Player, you can now lower your floor. So if your floor is, say, 25 cents, now you can lower your floor to 20 cents because you're saving all this money on shipping. You could be more competitive. You can get more orders out the door. You can make more money. If you're making more money, you're selling more cards, you need more supplies, you could buy in bigger bulk. If you're buying supplies in bigger bulk, you're getting bigger discounts again. You can lower your floor again. You can become a little more competitive, a little more competitive, a little more competitive. So these are things that you're going to want to be looking at. I know I did a quick little, I just wanted to do a little how to ship kind of thing. Kind of went on a tangent there, but you know, you can buff your margins by buying in bulk and buying the right supplies and shopping around. So that's another thing I want to throw out there. If you think that shipping is too expensive, and if you think it's too expensive to put a top loader in your orders, what are you doing that you can't afford it? Like TCG Player is giving you $1.22 just to ship the card. That's for you. Unless you do free shipping, that's another thing. That's whatever. Shipping is $1.22, whatever the hell it is. So I don't know. I went off there on a tangent, but this is some information that I just wanted to put out there. Stuff that might help you. As a matter of fact, I have another little tip I'd like to add. If you're mailing a lot of orders, and some orders you're going to be like 30 cards, 40 cards, whatever, you need a scale. You need to know what your envelopes weigh, because that one stamp is only going to cover up to 1 ounce if you're shipping in an envelope. You can buy other stamps, and I know somebody personally who, I'm not going to say his name, I don't want to out the guy, but I know for fact that he ships out orders up to 1.3 ounces on a stamp, and he's been getting away with it steadily. I'm not trying to jinx him or voodoo him or any of that, but that's just a little bit that I don't like to play that game, because I don't want it to come back and then whatever. But technically, I know someone who saves a little more money than, they save a little more money just overstuffing their cards, but it can backfire. So I'm just going to tell you guys the rates of what it's going to cost you to do some shipping. A regular stamp is going to give you up to 1 ounce. It's about 68 cents. I'm looking at the USPS postage rates right now. It's going to be about 68 cents. Well, 68 cents. You can buy additional ounce stamps for 24 cents. So if you do go over that 1 ounce, you don't have to put a whole nother stamp. So that's another bit of information that I really haven't heard in my endeavor of watching videos. You also want to know, I believe it's 3/4 of an inch. Your envelope can't be 3/4 of an inch, bigger than 3/4 of an inch. And at least by me, I know that the mailboxes, they have a slit. The slit is sized to accept only up to that size envelope. So if you're only doing an order or two and you're not going to the post office and you're just dropping them off in the mailboxes, if it doesn't fit in that slit, the envelope's too thick. You're not going to be able to ship that card. So I wanted to add that. Now, a way around that is if you have small envelopes, like a shorter envelope, let's just say 25 cards is 3/4 of an inch thick. If you have an envelope this wide, you could put 50 cards, because you could do here and here. So there are ways with different size envelopes and stuff like that where you can get away with some things, such as just sending a big fat heavy envelope. That's how you ship PWE. That's how you make money doing PWE. You don't throw everything in a bubble mailer. You know what I mean? When you're shipping PWE, this is information that you're going to need to know. So check out the links in my description. You can take a look at this stuff yourself. Just do some shopping around. Know what you're looking at. Know what you need to do. You don't have to ship the way I ship, but just take some advice from what I was saying about how I ship my cards. I've had no complaints. Nobody's ever said, I don't like this guy sucks, whatever. People are happy. I get good reviews on my sales, and I've never had an issue. So that's my take for the night. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for stopping by. If you ship your cards differently, let me know in the comments. I'm very curious. Maybe there's something I could do to save a couple bucks, a couple cents, I should say. So let me know. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.